Hello everyone, welcome to Xanafu Animates. I'm Xanafu, and today I'm showing you what's in an artist's mind whenever he animates. Okay, so to start this video off, what I usually do is do a pre-doodle, as I like to call it. So I just do something random. It can be whatever. You can draw a super ultra simple version of your character. You can practically do anything, and I mean anything. So you can do ultra simple, just regular super quickly, doesn't have to be really perfect, because this is just a pre-doodle to get your hand ready and such, and all that kind of good stuff. So, you know, and then you can just add like your regular stuff to it. Again, this is just a pre-doodle, so it doesn't really matter how you do it. Now that we're ready for the video, now what I do is I first draw my character, and usually I draw outline circles first. So the first one is I draw the head, and before I draw the lines on the head, I draw what the body's going to look like. So what you can do is you can just draw that line for the body, draw a line through that, and then this will decide how big your thighs are. And you can just kind of do whatever with that. And usually I do draw a line for the kneecaps. If it's curved, then I'll show how much it's curved, like that. That right there. And then I will draw, just say, the elbows first. The elbows and the hands first before I draw the shoulders. And then once I realize where that's going to be, the outline is going to look something like that with the circles and stuff. And then I'll just start kind of out, like going around everything, how big I want everything to be, and all that kind of stuff. Now everybody has different preferences for stuff, but personally, me, I am very expressive as an artist. So my lines, personally, I think they have to be perfect, and I know it's crazy. You're probably thinking they don't have to be too perfect, and they really don't. It's just that I'm just a little bit much whenever it comes to that. But and like I said, these outlines really help, and they're just outlines, okay? So don't draw them too dark, because they're going to change, I promise. So there you go, there's your outline. So now we're going to actually start drawing the lines for the head, right here. And now that we've got the headlines drawn, we're just going to leave that right there. And then, since we already have the body done, we're just going to kind of add a little bit more detail to it. You know, like kind of make it a little bit more curvier, if you will. That sounds wrong. But, and you want the thighs to be, I can't believe I'm saying this, thick. You want them to be very thick for this kind of for my art style. That's my personal opinion, because my character is specifically a little bit larger than most anime, and I'm very different from animators. Very, very different. A lot of my friends have told me that, and a lot of them like my art style. Actually, all of them like my art style, and I can't really tell if they're just being nice. But, you know, so you go do that. And then what you can do sometimes is I will make a print off in the link in the description at some point, or I'll put it out on my channel, where you can print off the parameters, and you can print off this page right here of this character, of how I did it and such. And another major thing is I'm going to add, we're not doing the eyes yet, is that your eyes can either be A, curved, they can be curved, or let me just finish this other one before it kills me. They can be curved like that. And eyebrows are very expressive. Or they can be straight. Now, it really does depend on the expression and your character, depending on what the eyes are. But personally, I do a mix of that. So that's my personal opinion, though. But yeah. So there's your outline right there. And you want to be careful not to make the lines too dark. Like, art is all about making the lines smooth. And sometimes I struggle with that because, you know, even being a experienced artist, I still struggle with my lines and stuff. And they say you're not supposed to do like what I'm doing, which is called chicken scratch. And they say that a lot. They're like, oh, you have to do this with your, like, it's all in your shoulder. And I'm like, I can't do that. That's just not me. That's not my art style. That's just, yeah. But, you know, I just have a separate art style from everybody. And usually what I do, you'll see me erase a lot. And as you can see in this video, I'm erasing a lot. So don't be afraid. Even the most, like, experienced of artists have to erase. So don't feel bad if you have to use the other side of your pencil. As you can see, I've used the other side a lot. So don't feel bad. And a lot of the times for the ankle, I'll do like a curve, like that. Just to curve the rest of it out. So, you know. So yeah, there's a body type thing, and I'll just go on ahead and draw the snout. So the snout is totally different from the whole rest of the character. You need to have certain diameters for how big it is and what it looks like. And it takes a lot of deciding to decide what your ears look like, what your, all that kind of stuff. It just really just depends on the art style. And I'm going to kind of label this, but this is like the fluff. And I know this is kind of a furry thing, and just FYI, if you don't like it, I guess you're just going to have to kind of get off the channel. That's practically the main thing I'm going to be doing. That's a lot of my animating, that's my art style. And, you know, that's just how it is. So, now that you've got that done, you can kind of tweak it a little bit. Like, put a little bit more detail. Like, anything along those lines. And like I said, it doesn't have to be perfect. Well, actually, to me it kind of does. But in all truth, like, it doesn't have to be, like, all time, especially if you're just starting out. It doesn't have to be, like, super, super, ultra perfect. But, you know, you just come off here, do that. And the hands are a little bit more, like, curved. They have a lot of curvature to them. So, you know, there's that. And your thumb will kind of come out from your hand, like the middle part of your hand. And it's hard for me to do this quickly because I'm trying not to have you stay here for like an hour. But, you know, for the paw pads, I like to draw like curved lines like that and then just barely color it in. Not too dark. And make sure to use straight lines. It just looks the best with that. And there you go. There's your outline. And then you can draw your character's stuff right there. And I'm going to go ahead and do that and speed the video up a little bit for you. And there you go. That's the finished character. That's my character, Xanafu. There you go. And you don't need a massive sketchbook. Although I have a massive sketchbook, but you don't need that. You can do it anywhere. You can do it on the back of a church bulletin if you wanted to. Anywhere. So, yeah. Anyway, thank you for watching. Xanafu, out.